You're disconnected from everybody, but I went there first. And I can't tell you why, but I just had this creative itch inside of me. It was like, I need to see the world.
Callum Lakin is the owner and founder of EliteGen Media, a creative agency dedicated to help businesses thrive when it comes to tackling content creation, SEO, and getting across the core pillars of your business.
What would you say now for you is your intention with life?
I want a full agency where I can take a team on set to film, and I want to operate that and give my creative input, but I want other people to open up their creative side. I want to offer jobs to other people. I want a freelance bank bigger than my arms where I'm giving work to every single one of them. I want to offer them all of my knowledge of the past 12 years and going forward, maybe the next 30 years. Everything that I learned is to pass down and give the information away. I want to change the system of like schooling, of like you go through school, it's regimented, and you get a job, do this. I want to tell people that it's possible. You can teach, you can learn these things. Finances, creativity, like don't feel trapped, like talk and warrant it in. Really get out of it, you know?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Master Your Life Beyond the Boardroom podcast. I am your host, Luke Beastall, and I have got our first in-person guest. Now, I was actually a guest on their podcast not so long ago, and we was chatting, and honestly, Callum, who's going to be the guest, who we're going to get into in just in a second, I'm going to introduce him because he is a legend in the fitness world as well. That's kind of how we met, on the gym floor, just having a conversation, and he had gone through a similar industry to myself, personal training. That was back in 2016. He was actually just sharing before we shot on this show that he knew in himself that he didn't necessarily want to work for anyone else. He wanted to create his own brand. His podcast, just plugging it in here, Creative Corner.
There we go.
So we'll talk about that later, but look, he's been through adversity, he's had challenges, he's built a successful business, he's travelled the world, worked in places like Bali, and now he's come back and he's set up his own creative brand, which is EliteGen Media, and he's got a lot that we can unpack in this episode. But I think without further ado, because I don't want to take the light away from you, buddy, welcome
Amazing.
to the podcast, Callum.
First one being on the opposite side of the seat as well, actually. Like, it's a strange feeling.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does it feel? You know, obviously, I mean, I've done it myself, but just from your side, when you've obviously been interviewing, asking questions, how does it feel to...
I guess when it's your podcast, obviously you've got your own vision and you know where he wants to go, you know what you want to pull out of people. And then sitting on the other side, it's kind of like, oh, no, this is somebody else's show. This is kind of like... your brain's a bit clear because I haven't got audio to monitor, I ain't got a camera to look at, I've got no headphones on checking, so I'm almost kind of like, oh, it's just nice to have a chat and be on the other side. It feels strange though. It feels like there's almost a point where I'm just like, do you want to take over? Do you want to like grab some bits? Do you know what I mean? It feels a little bit weird, but no, it's good.
Yeah, I mean,
there was
there was a little bit of dabbling, weren't there? You know, before you couldn't help it not touch it. It was like, is the plant there? Is the sign in? But hey, listen, it's great to have you on, mate. And
thank you, I appreciate it.
No, honestly, at any time. And I think, you know, for us as business owners, you know, people that, you know, like you say, if we think about the audience, the people that are either in business, they want to set up a new one, or they're in an employed role and they want to transition into self-employed role. You've had
story of my life.
You've been in and out. So I think really just to elaborate on specifically what you do and give to the audience a bit of an insight to your journey.
Yeah.
What is it that you actually do now with your business?
So my business is EliteGen Media. So we specialise in videography and photography.
Right.
It was very natural for me to go into the fitness industry initially. So I'm doing a lot of fitness events, a lot of CrossFit Games type events as well for athletes. And it's very natural for me to go in. I can go in a gym and I know where to point a camera. Years of taking selfies on the gym floor. You know where to put the camera. You know how to make someone look big and feel special. So I kind of utilise that straight away. But we've branched out to that. It's going to be much bigger. It's slowly becoming an agency. So we have graphic design on board, website on board, SEO stuff. So EliteGen Media is a creative agency. It's a place where you can get all your ads. It's a place where you can get all your social content. And we break down the marketing pillars and hopefully push your business as forward as we can through digital.
I like that. We'll touch on that as well, because I've obviously seen your business unfold. I know when we had actually met on the gym floor, you know, you used to video yourself in the gym, you know, your exercises, your workouts and stuff when you was doing the online coaching days and the personal training days. Obviously, you was a gym manager. You've had a lot of roles. I mean, I couldn't believe it when you just said beforehand that you started out as a kitchen fitter.
Yeah,
you know, when
I
you
was
like
a joiner.
15 years old,
15
right?
years
So,
old, yeah.
so I guess for me, what I would love to know, and I think this will be great value for the guys, you know, tuning in on this, is where did this all begin? When did that like brain power or that thought pattern go, I don't want to work for anyone. I want to do my own thing. I mean, we're going back to, what, 15 years old?
15 years old. It was a realisation pretty fast, but in terms of where it came from, like, I've got no one immediate inside my family that are either business owners
Okay.
that have worked from something ground up.
Interesting.
I am the only person that has gone, I don't want to be employed, or I don't want to be told what to do. I'm going to make my own business and create my own empire. And I can only really bring it back through my granddad, and my great granddad. He was kind of very like a business orientated person, a briefcase, very old school kind of businessman. Kind of looked up to him, and I wanted to be like that. But the power to do it, no, I didn't really have anyone going, this is the life, you go set up a business. All of my life has been get a job, find someone, get a mortgage, etc. It's never been make something, go like create something. But just from a young age, creatively was just like, I need to do something with myself. And I can't tell you what the pinpoint or catalyst was, and maybe it was a bunch of things. Yeah. If we really dived into it, we could probably find it. But yeah, it was. I didn't wake up one day and say I want to do this. It was kind of a progression. Being 15, and I guess going into kitchen fitting initially, my uncle was a joiner. My granddad worked the roads and was a joiner as well. So that was kind of what I wanted to do. And at the time, in that day and age as well, like 12 years ago, being self-employed and being a sole trader as a joiner or something like that was pretty. It was good to do. It was nice. Yeah. It was, when you went to college, that's what they told you to do. It was kind of like, set up on your own, and you can go get your own jobs and etc. So I was subcontract to a company, self-employed at like 15 years old.
Yeah.
And that's
still at school.
And still at school,
yeah.
Still at college. I'm still going through all of that as well. Yeah, and it all started from there, 15 years old.
That's really, I think that's amazing, by the way, that you had took that upon yourself to step out from what you in your environment,
the norm,
family had been used to, like
scary.
Being employed. Yeah, because we hear it a lot, don't we, from stories, from business owners, from people that maybe they fell into their father's or their mother's footsteps, or they've gone into the family business, or if they've been around family that have got their own business that they
get the tips and the tricks and stuff, don't they?
Yeah. So for you, was you always creative in school? Was the, if you think about like when you had your teachers or your friends, was it like, Cal's always that kind of creative kid? Yeah,
it was always, I was never really kind of like the sit down textbook type of person.
Yeah.
The academic, as you call it. I was very much kinesthetic. Like I needed to touch, feel something, be on my feet. I needed to create something to learn. So all through like product design and through sports and stuff, I was the guy that went into the gym once a week on a Friday, and I was making the workout routine for people to follow.
Right.
I was the guy that was like, the teacher was like, I'll put on the whiteboard like what we're going to do today, and I would make that. Or Callum, can you lead the warm up for the football? I would do that. That was my way of learning and picking things up rather than reading from a textbook. So my brain was very creative straight away. It was very imagery. It was very like, I can see a finished product, and the roadmap to get there was all just in my head. It wasn't like I had to read bullet points to get there. It was in my head.
Yes.
It was just putting that down then. Yeah. So very, very creative. Just from a kid,
What would you say? I mean, this is kind of a bit of a random but question extension of what we've just spoken about. What would you say people would have thought or would have said as a skill that you had as a kid at school, or your friends? What did they used to? What kind of get thrown about Cal's like talented in this, or Cal's always going to make this or do this? Did anyone say anything to you like?
Yeah, it was skill-wise. It wasn't really anything to do. I wasn't very good at football. I wasn't really good. Like the only good sport I was good at was cricket, and Cal was like, Cal's the cricketer. That was kind of it. But it all stems back is like I put 100% into everything I do, and whether I pick a new camera up, I learn the ins and outs of that camera before I've even picked it up.
Okay.
So when everyone wanted a question, it was like, Cal, what do I do with this? I already knew it because before going in, I was so over prepared to the point I know every single detail. I knew exactly how to do it. So even like science experiments, it was like, Cal, what do I mix with it? What's this called? What's the symbol for this? And I knew it because I'd researched and I'd been involved in it heavily because it was something I was interested in creatively. Like, who doesn't want to see some explosion in a science pitch? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Putting them chemicals together.
I was always very active, very hands-on. playing guitar, doing different bits as well. So,
Right.
yeah.
So really, you've actually dabbled into to a lot of things, really.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know,
Yeah.
just talking what we was talking beforehand. So I guess then, really, if we pinpoint that first stepping into self-employment,
Yeah.
What was people like? Say your family or your friends or people at school.
Yeah.
What was there any sort of comments being made? Just being so young, wanting to be self-employed.
Yeah, it was all whispers in the back of my head.
Right.
You need to get a job.
Okay.
It's not stable income. You can't do this.
Right.
You've got no experience. You need to start here. And I'd always been like, get in a gym, get some clients, then go self-employed, then go online coach. I was kind of like, no, business is registered. I'm set up. I want to go market myself now. And I was kind of the complete opposite as the way someone would set a business up.
Yeah, sure.
They would talk about it, they would get affirmation, they would go, yeah, the business is warranted, they would set the business up. I was completely backwards, like, no, it's registered, I'm done, I'm going to market now. And go to town on it. Hustle.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, you're going to think about this? Do you not want to stay in college? Like, you've been a joiner and it's £1,000 a week fitting a kitchen. It's a really good job. You could stay at that for the rest of your life and be comfortable. I didn't want that.
No.
I needed to create something and to keep creating something, and I've still got that kind of thing in my head now. Yeah, so people was always kind of like, I guess now seeing actually other people from school look and send me messages and like, oh, you're doing amazing, etc.
Yeah.
And they was the same people. Was like, he's not going to get a corporate job. He's not going to make money. It wasn't academic. Wasn't getting the best grades. He's never going to climb a corporate ladder or anything like that. You know. So to set my own business up, I was like, oh, this guy means something. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, always little challenge whispers, get a job, get a mortgage, stay in it, you've got something good.
This is good though. This is really good what you're sharing, Carl, because, you know, there's going to be people here that's probably having that experience right now where maybe in their mind, you know, their creative mind, that they're thinking of, hey, you know, I've got this idea, but I'm a bit scared. I'm fearing that people are going to judge me, that people are going to say, oh, what's that going to do? Or is that even going to work? You know, and obviously you've experienced
that. You get it all the time,
at such a young age. And now obviously you're sharing that people from school who were those naysayers, who were those people that...
Even on social media, and people are texting saying like, oh, get a life, or and they're on Facebook saying you've not got anything better to do, why are you sharing this, or useless information, etc. And you're putting all this stuff out to learn about your avatar, to learn about the people that want to buy the products off you. So you're gaining all this information, but in the process of starting a business at a young age, no one took you seriously.
How did that make you feel, though, Carl?
Even more determined to prove people wrong.
Because it can go either way, can't it?
It can shut you down.
Yeah,
I've had that. I've got this. Oh, this might be enough. This might be enough. And I had it recently with being in Bali and coaching online. That was kind of a turning point to me. So, okay, I've kind of had enough of this. But it was all those little niggles. But yeah, it just makes you want to prove people wrong. Yeah, it does fire me up a little bit.
That's good though. It's good that it gives you that bit of like fire in your belly.
Yeah, it goes two ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. You can collapse, or you can kind of use it as motivation.
You're swimming, mate. You ain't sinking.
I've got to, mate. Can't be an anchor to my own boat, can I?
No, but it's good, and I think just hearing you can tell you've got that determination. Obviously, you can really tell now where this creativity started to come from, because it's done a bit of like a circular loop in a way. Really, from like when you talk about the design, you know. The creative, the kinesthetic, the image, the movement, right? So when you had done that, you obviously kind of fell out of love or didn't want to be this joiner, and you didn't want to be this kitchen fitter. What then got you onto, I guess, becoming a qualified PT? What drawn you into that? Because I always love to hear someone's personal journey. Then
it was being a joiner at college. There was obviously a lot of college kids and myself, and was always kind of like. Middle of the day or at the end of the day, we'd all go to the gym.
Right.
And it wasn't serious. We used to get a pack of polos and a donut walking to the gym and just we'd sit there on the leg press chatting, and those guys would be like, how many reps you got left? How many sets you got to get off of here? And we were all just chatting. It's like a youth club in the gym, just in a leisure centre. But when I come back to like I want to know everything, this is when I started walking into the gym, and I was like, leg press, quadriceps, 90-degree out. And I was learning the whole sticker of what the exercise was, what it was training, what body part it was training, how many it told you reps to do, everything. Had a little counter on there. So rather than just going in and leg pressing, talking to my mate, having a conversation, I'd go in and think about the muscle group it's working. Someone would turn to me and go, oh, I want to grow a bigger chest. What are the exercises? Oh, I know these exercises from the gym. Here's a chest press, here's a cable fly, etc. And I'd learnt them all inside of the gym, just reading all of the labels, because I wanted to know everything to be able to do it the best that I could.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. And people start asking me questions. Oh, what movement can I do for this? Or what's this called? And I was telling them and etc. And I was like, I could do this for a living. And then I heard about being a personal trainer, and it was a friend, Anthony, who was working in the leisure centre in Kirby at the time, and he was a PT. And we got chatting. He was like, oh, you should give it a go. So I did. I went back to college, and did my level 2 at West Notts, level 3 online, and I got all my qualifications in instructing and spin and outdoor, and all went from there.
Yeah. So again, just you tying in with what you said before about how when you are wanting to learn something, you are fully in, right? You're assessing it, granular.
It's crazy.
So literally what you were saying there about the labels, the sets, the when you got the images of like the red area or the orange area, what the area is working. I get that. That's really cool though. How obviously that's how your mind works. And with the the personal training qualification, because I know today, I mean, there might be even people listening to this that maybe are even thinking about
being a PT.
building a fitness business or being. Did you have support with that, or was it something that you had to invest in yourself? Because I know there's two sides in it.
Yeah, so it was support-wise from friends and from people in the gym, definitely.
Yeah.
I had Anthony and a couple of other PTs that was telling me, like, this is a viable business. People want this. You should give it a go.
Yeah.
But in terms of setting the business up, operations and running it, no, fully just finding out how it works, just going, diving in. I am now a PT.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, I figure it out.
Yeah.
And went into just coaching people at people's houses.
Right.
Yeah, I basically filled a boot up with gym mats, medicine balls, few dumbbells, a battle rope, put it all in my boot, and was like, I'm a mobile PT.
Yeah.
That was my thing. Take people on the field or to the house and have people with tins of beans in their hand trying to get them off the sofa. That was who I wanted to work with. I wanted to get people that was very sedentary to getting them active.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily getting someone stage ready or building muscle. I wanted someone to go from 0 to a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And with that then, with your mobile PT business, obviously you were in the leisure centre, you decided to go mobile.
Yeah.
What did you have a platform that you used? Like, I just wondered what
Facebook.
Was it?
Yeah.
So was it Facebook groups then?
And then you had a Facebook group.
Mobile PT and people. Okay.
Posted it on my private Facebook and then made a Facebook group. That was the first thing. And then when I first started, Instagram was just coming around then.
Yeah, I remember.
Instagram was just a thing.
Cats and dogs, mate.
Yeah. I opened Instagram and it was just like pictures of some flowers or someone's food or like my friends going to McDonald's and stuff. It wasn't a business tool. No. It was just sharing a few photos. And there's no reels or videos or information. Yeah. You couldn't advertise on there. It was just showing your day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So Facebook was all about that. So I used that a lot. But then when the Instagram started coming photos, I was going to Body Power a lot and posting new gym outfits that I'd got on there and stuff like that. And obviously people seeing the change in me, and Instagram started taking over in about 2017, 2018 for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now we're fully Instagram, Facebook kind of left. But yeah, Facebook was the main platform to get these people on. And the people I wanted to work with was all Facebook users.
And that's really good. The fact that you'd built a business through a platform. Yeah. So it's that exposure. Yeah. Obviously, I guess word of mouth would have kicked on as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was you charging at the time for your services?
It was £15 for a session.
Was it?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And if you block book 10, you'd get them for like a tenner each.
No way.
Super minimal.
Mate, that's nothing. Mad. Yeah. But hey, and how long did you do that for?
I did the house visits for about 6 to 7 months before I started going inside of gyms, and I went in to teach more boot camps, more classes. And,
right.
Yeah.
So did you miss that? What made you go back into gym? So obviously you was in a gym, went to mobile, and then went back into gym. What made you go back?
Being in the four walls and having people come to you.
Right.
I got fed up of the driving, the scheduling, the petrol. It was a lot, and it was like, if we're having a conversation 5 minutes after the session, and someone else, I need to leave, half an hour to get there, I need to leave. I couldn't have that conversation with someone.
Right.
And I was having to leave half an hour in between each session just to talk. Or then I'd sit in the car for half an hour because we'd not had a conversation. So it was like, how do I balance this? So it was just kind of like, if I was in the gym, people would come to me, and the 5 or 10 minutes layover that we get, we can have that conversation to push them forward a little bit. So I kind of needed the gym just to be kind of settled and not being so chaotic in my brain as to where I am next and what's going on.
Yeah, that's good. And so that's obviously, when was you doing mobile PT? What year was
2016 when I first started.
Yeah. Right, okay, so that's only first couple of years into
first
being
couple of years.
self-employed.
Yeah.
What did you learn the most as a business owner in those first couple of years?
It's hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. I think the biggest thing that I took away from it was the operation side of things. Is being set up. Like we spoke about earlier, I was very backwards in terms of the business, what I know now. When I set this business up, I like to talk to people beforehand, kind of warrant the business, make sure the business is viable. Yeah. Would you be interested in this service or product? Yeah. I didn't do any of that. So I was doing all of that work while trying to run and operate the business. Right. Whereas if I took a little bit more time to set up and get people on board, and you can kind of use waiting lists or use your followers and email market chain would be
your
pre-sale would all be the modern day stuff. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Back then there was kind of none of that, but realistically I would have built a bank of names and numbers who would be interested in it. I'd put a Facebook page out. So operation and back end of the business. I'd never run a business before. So I always saw it at the face value. So I learned a lot of the operations. Yeah.
But you learned that through just
doing.
Yeah, just from taking action. So it's interesting you say that, because it's something that I'm quite passionate about now, especially with people that are, again, from an employed background and wanting to go self-employed. Is that we can have an idea, we can test it, we can work with people, but it is that operational side, it is that business side that it's really hard to get your head around. And I think this is where, and this is what I wanted to ask your kind of views on it, is that a lot of people would want to have everything packaged perfectly before they launch. So, we could talk about business cards, websites, landing pages, professional photos now, having all the videos lined up, all the welcome
marketing
series,
strategies,
literally a whole box full of this is my business, but nobody knows about it. There's not been no conversations because people can't talk today. Share it. So what would you be saying to somebody that is now in a place where they're like, I've got this idea, Cal. I'm really passionate about it. Yeah. But I am thinking that I need to get everything ready. Because before I decide.
You can't be totally wrong. Yeah. Don't get everything ready. What I would say to somebody is, you've got this idea, you've got a close friend or family, you need to get family on board. Yeah. Family are one of your biggest marketing tools. They can spread the word faster than you could. Your partner. If you've got colleagues that you rely on at work and you want to tell them and just pull them in the office, tell them, warrant the business, get people talking. And then if you've got somebody, if it's a PT and you've got a friend that's getting into fitness, can I just give you a session for an hour, just see how it feels, etc. Because when you start doing all the back end stuff, and I've done this myself in a past business, is you get all the back end stuff ready, you get the website set up, you get all your graphics made, and you have this all idea of who your avatar is and who you want to pitch to, and etc. The business has no information. You've got nothing to go at. Like, who is that? You're just throwing in the dark. Whereas if you warrant the business and give someone a free session or free photo shoot, in my case, they're like, okay, they enjoyed that, but they didn't like this. But I've just spent 3 hours promoting the bit that they didn't like. A lot of waste of time, money and energy. Right. You have no information. So give some freebies out, collect as much information about the business as possible, then use that tool to actively reach the KPIs that you're looking for inside of the business. So then, but my audience don't like neon signs or colours or etc. They're very more relaxed, more neutral. But all the marketing and stuff was paid for is wrong. You've got to rechange. You've got to take time. So really warrant the business. Have as many conversations as possible. Give some stuff out for free. Take in as much information as possible. Then use that information to build that platform.
I like that. I think that's a really, really solid stuff what you share there, Cal. Obviously, you've been through it yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
The thing is, it's like we obviously, in today's world, it's all about prepping. You want it to work. Obviously, you don't want to fail, so everybody feels like they've got to, like you say, get everything visually ready.
And there's always that saying, was it prepare to fail, fail to prepare, whatever it is, all the way around.
Fail to prepare,
that one.
Prepare to fail,
Yeah, so, and everyone's kind of stuck on that. They're like, I need to prepare. I'm going to fail if I don't prepare. It's generally not the case. When inside a business and creative businesses like that, they're adapting every single second. And I keep up with trends and different things, and what I was filming last month is not what I'm going to film next month.
That's insane. The algorithms and stuff.
The algorithms change and flare transitions, and I want crazy edits, and TikTok wants longer form and calm videos now. But you have to be able to adapt and change. But if you built your business and showcased it in a way where it's all about one style or one way of, you're just boot camp, you just train men, you just train women, you just clean big windows, not small, you just change perma doors and not wooden doors. Or what if perma doors are discontinued next week and all there is wooden doors? you're not going to fit them. You're not going to get the work because you're not promoted to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, just gather as much information as possible and really warrant the business.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of giving yourself that green light, isn't it?
Yeah.
That this can be a business what you're really passionate about.
Yeah.
And I think just what you said there, it's kind of rang a few alarm bells in my mind. And just to kind of relay it back to you and obviously the guys listening in will probably make sense to it, is the fact that you've been very flexible and adaptable to whatever your idea is, and then you've gone out and warranted it.
Yeah.
But you've not felt like, yes, you are. Obviously, you've got a unique ability.
Yeah.
You specialise in something, i.e. you're creative, i.e. You can pick up trends quite well. But people just feel like, because they've been probably used to maybe being, like say, being employed, for example, they might be used to doing one job.
Tunnel vision.
Repetitive all the time, fixated on that. Yeah. That's my job, that's my hourly rate, whatever
That's what the systems do,
Yeah, so they've kind of taken that into their own business. But again, when you talk about the operational side, the business side, you have to be a bit more on your toes.
You have to adapt, As a business, you've got to be really good at finances. You've got to be really good at operations. You've got to be really good at marketing. You've got to have all these kind of tools when you're starting off. And now this is not to say you've got to run your business like that forever.
Yeah,
you start taking people and pulling people in from other areas. But you have to be very good at that. You have to be able to adapt to all of these things. And a job teaches you one thing. Like if you want to gather an invoice, you ring the marketing team. If you want to have a word about sales, you ring a sales team.
Yeah.
If you want to see what social media post is going out, you ring the marketing team. You are that one person in a job. And when you take that into a business, you're so tunnel visioned, you forget about all the other areas. And it's like a spiral. You start really well and you go down and down and down and down and down. It's all of a sudden you forgot about all these things on the way down. And you're so tunnel visioned, all you're doing is leading yourself into one path. Yeah. And you're going to find yourself in a bit of a sticky situation if you do that. You have to be very moldable, adaptable, especially in my industry.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what you've shared there is I mean, I'm sure people listening will definitely
probably resonate. If they've been there themselves. I can imagine they pick that up.
So my question to you then is, when was you at that place where you had a bit of like maybe a downward spiral moment, or a moment where maybe you had to just go back a little bit in order to move forward
to regain? So my coaching business, 3 years ago, I moved to Bali.
Right.
And I was an online coach.
Yeah.
It was the thing to do.
The
laptop life. I'd moved my business online. I was making money. I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I here? I can do this from anywhere. Yeah. And I seen other people moving around. And previously I'd travelled full time for 3 months and I still got the bug. And I was like, I can scratch my bug while I work at the same time. Yeah. I have freedom and flexibility now. Built something for myself. But then I got to Bali and I was on the laptop all the time. I was coaching, and the online people was ticking. Oh, I've done bench press, done cable fly, done blah. They're still sat at home. And I go, well, I'm not with them. I'm not in the UK anymore. Like I've gone away from that. They're ticking off, and they're not completing anything. And I was like, I'm a bad coach here. I've left them all behind. And I was like, I'm not giving them a service anymore, really. And I had to think, okay, what is it I need to do to fix? And I think I'd gone a little bit too far. And it was about 4 months into being in Bali. I was in co-working spaces all the time. I was on my laptop. And it really hit me. I was like, I'm babysitting. Yeah. I'm trying to get people to do things they necessarily don't want to do. And I wasn't giving them a service. I was focused on what my business looked like. And it was like, I'm posting no transformations. I'm posting no one working out because they're not working out. They're not getting transformations. I'm basically trying to get them to that point. Yeah. And all I'm doing is scared of what my business looks like, not what they want to achieve. Right. So I was in that tunnel vision, the one we spoke about not to get into. I fell straight into that. Right. And I had to, at 4 months, close the laptop. I was like, I'm going to enjoy Bali. I spent the rest of probably 8 months with the laptop closed.
So you were in Bali for a year?
Yeah, just over, yeah. I closed the laptop and I was like, I can't do it. I'm just going to enjoy. I'm going to travel and see what hits me. Yeah. And during Bali, I was doing other things. I started trading. I met traders there. I was trading, making money from that, putting some money aside. I'd been in the travel space, so I got approached by a company to go and work in Thailand the year after. So that kind of tied me over to go into Thailand. I was getting paid to tour people around these countries in Asia. And other opportunities, doors and opened, and I kind of left that behind and kind of told people. I had 4 people that couldn't live without me. So those 4 people had my attention. Those 4 people, they had the workout programs. But in terms of operations of the business, I really had to give myself a lot of space to understand the forward movement or the pattern of the business. Because I was very tunnel visioned I was cared too much about what I looked like. I was that guy in Bali, you know. I was that guy at the beach club, you know. I was like Mike Thurston, you know.
Oh
Yeah. I was that guy, and I was like, didn't get any of that, and I was like, what am I? What am I doing? Like, who am I? Am I helping people change their life, or am I scared about what my life looks like?
Right.
And that's when it all flipped for me. I had a brand new BMW 218i series, sold it, didn't care about my vision. I brought a van instead, so I'm right that up. I'm going to start a business, and I slowly started to care less about my image and what I could offer other people. And the moment I did that, the moment my life changed forever.
This is good then. This is really good. So we can unpack this a little bit, because obviously it's nice to hear where you are and what you did fear and you know what you did think about yourself and stuff. So first of all, what made you catch that plane to Bali? Just the online coaching lifestyle, or was it something else?
No. I think I'd always loved the travel space, and I think I was stuck in jobs previously, and in the back of my head I wanted to see the world. Right. But again, I don't know where it comes from, because I'm the only person in my family that's ever done any of that.
Yeah.
The farthest we've been is Spain or Greece. Right. We'd never done anything like that. And I went to Budapest on a lad's holiday, and the next flight I went to China.
Mad.
They didn't speak a word of English. You can't use maps. You have no internet. You're disconnected from everybody. But I went there first, and I'm like, and I can't tell you why, but I just had this creative itch inside of me. It was like, I need to see the world. There's something else that offers that's going to stimulate me. And I started seeing all these different buildings and stuff. I started traveling, and I was like, 5 days led into a month led into 2 months led into 3. And I ended up coming back, and I stood running the business, and I was like, I need to see more of the world. And I tried to make it happen, and that's when I transitioned onto online and was like, I need to go and see the world. Yeah, it was the moment I said yes to travel to a friend, Ollie Walsh, I went with for the first few months.
Yeah, I know Ollie,
you know Ollie,
yeah. Wow.
It was him that I went travelling with for the first 3 months. Yeah, he's a PT. We was both doing the same job, the same thing, and we just wanted to see the world for a little bit. I think I put a message out on Snapchat, and I was like, I kind of want to see the world a little bit. I want to travel just for a couple of months. Anyone interested? Ollie was like, yeah, I'm coming. And that's it. We spent 2 months planning it. Both left our jobs. I was working like 4 jobs at the time.
Mad.
Yeah, I was in a warehouse. I was coaching kids football for mini kicks. I was PT, and I was working for Nike. I was working 4 jobs.
Flipping heck.
Yeah, and I decided I just left them all, every single one. So I'm going.
Yeah, and what? So you said you had that itch though, but what gave you that burning desire? Like, I'm just gonna, because I mean, anybody think about it, right? You got if we slow down a little bit here, you got 4 jobs. It's bringing you in some good revenue. You know what I mean?
Amazing,
you know, so. But then, obviously, I know in the back of your mind, you're going to be like, I know I'm not going to be here. This is a temporary thing. I'm going to do something. But just what made you think, I'm going to sack all that off and I'm going to go all in on this?
I went extreme. Trapped myself in a cage. Gave myself 4 jobs. Gave myself no time limits. Yeah. I was coming home from the warehouse at 2:30 and had to be at kids coaching for 3 o'clock. Give them all the energy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, after waking up at 5:30 in the morning, working 6 till 2, then coaching kids football. And then getting home 7, 8, 9, going to the gym to PT 3 hours a night. I couldn't do it. I trapped myself in a cage, and I craved freedom.
How long did you do that for?
It was about 2 years. The whole thing. Yeah.
So those 4 jobs.
About 2 years. Yeah.
Was it consistent, or was it on and off?
It was on and off. So it was started from joinery, and then I got a job at Nike. So I was tying over. I wanted to come out of Nike because I was going back to college to do the PT.
Yeah.
Then did the PT and did the PT and Nike. Yeah. And then for Nike we did a thing called mini kicks, where for charity we went and teach kids football. And we just help out.
Right.
I got there, I was really good at it. The guys were like, we want you to come on board. I was like, yeah, of course. So I went on board every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. I was coaching kids football. And then qualified as a PT. I'm going as a PT now. Then I had all of these jobs circling. And then I needed to leave Nike to operate mini kicks on a full-time basis. Right. But I was scared to take the leap financially, so I ended up getting a job with Ollie to prepare for travelling inside of the warehouse, which was 6 till 2, which then gave me enough time to get to the other jobs in the evening, which Nike, I was kind of working till 10 o'clock at night sometimes. I couldn't get there. So it gave me this flexibility of time. But over a period of 2 months, I really trapped myself.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I couldn't go anywhere with anything else. I trapped myself, and I was always scared to fully give something or commit to something. So I had these other little bits just tie me over. Yeah, it was a crazy time. I was very tired.
Yeah. Well, obviously your energy is going to be taxed. Yeah. I mean, doing all of that, spreading it into different, like obviously when you walk into different environments, it's going to be like that. But
it's not sustainable. No. That's the time I just went, I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
But you got these, so these opportunities. I'm just like baffled really, because you know when I talk to people today, they've got all these qualifications. Some are even overqualified.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
get a job. They can't even have an opportunity. No one's even opening the
Giving
door.
them an opportunity.
But here's you.
You have to open
Callum,
them.
show us your resume, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, it's got a lot on it.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
But it's like, people just obviously must have vibed off you or something.
There's something, yeah, but
to open this door, because surely you didn't have all the qualifications to learn.
no, nothing. I didn't have a coaching qualification, a kids qualification. I had to go and get DBS check, do everything before I got there.
Yeah.
They just liked me. But
Yes.
when Nike was like, "You're going to teach kids football," what do I do when I get home? Research how to coach kids football.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, I looked at how kids work, play, and enjoy. So when I got there, I knew how to talk to them. I knew what games they wanted to play. Whereas the other guys in Nike was like, "Oh, I'm okay with my job. I'm coming and I'll just sit down and be told what to do." I was proactive. It's like hustle marketing. I was out there chasing.
Yeah.
So when people see that as a business, like, I like this guy. You know, I was very, very hustle market type of person.
There's a theme coming up for me though, Cal, that's just, you're obviously very adaptable.
Yeah.
You know, so what I'm saying is throw you in the deep end, throw you in a space where things are quick.
Yeah.
You can keep
adapt.
up.
It's crazy because it's like I had a pen and I throw it in a cup.
Yeah.
I'd be able to do it over and over again.
Right.
My brain's learnt that pattern.
Yeah.
I'm good at darts and snooker because it's a repetitive pattern I can learn and pick up.
Yeah.
And I'm just very good at kind of adapting and getting all the information to get out. It's like I can change from like, I know how to build a house and lay bricks to operate a camera, to be a PT, to play guitar. I can pick a guitar up and know all the chords and give you some music advice at the same time as video advice and kids coaching and PT.
Obviously with that, you said you were really tired. Was there ever a moment though in those period of like dipping in and out of all these kind of jobs that you was just completely, I don't know, spent or thought, where even like you said, you were trapped.
Yeah.
And you haven't even got any space to even think, how can I get out of this or whatever? So
there was one time actually, and it just springs to mind straight away. Is I finished the I was working 6 till 2 warehouse, got home, and I was coaching kids football at 3. Well, I actually just got changed, put all my footballs and stuff together, back to pack the car, and I was like, oh, just let me sit in bed for 5 minutes. I've got 5 minutes. I fell asleep. I was that tired.
Understandably.
They was ringing me like, where are you? Where are you? And I'm the only coach. So like, if they've got no one else there, so the leisure centre's ringing me. Studio's booked. Like, is anyone coming to teach this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, started 15 minutes ago. These are kids. I want to give them all my energy.
Of course, but
like they're up and growing, and they thrive off the energy. They need the energy. You need to match them, and I couldn't give it them. And I was like, okay, I need to stop. I need to slow down. Started giving up on a few little bits, and kind of left Nike, left the warehouse, stopped going there, and concentrated then on the kids coaching and the football. And then as soon as the word got out that I wanted to go travel and I needed to break away from this cage I put myself in.
Yeah.
I slowed down with the coaching of the kids football as well. Stopped that, and then that was it. PT was all I had. It was my focus.
Yes.
It was the one I chose to stick around with.
Yeah, and that's good though, because obviously it goes back to that self-employment. Because obviously what I would love to understand, and just for clarity as well for the audience, is obviously we said early on, didn't we, that you didn't want to work for anybody from the ages of 15. But
hate being told what to do at school.
Yeah. So obviously the warehouse, you're gonna get told what to do. So what in terms of your life, what made you, or what did you have to do, like to go back to that, to then, because what I'm trying to get at is like sometimes
mind shift.
So sometimes you have to kind of go a little bit back, go into the things that you don't want to do, you know, in order to
look
move forward.
It's kind of that was a mental switch.
Right.
When I gave myself space to think and to understand myself a little bit more, I started to realise that, okay, it's okay to be told what to do for 6 months, because at the end of the 6 months, I'm going to be telling myself what to do with a better understanding and financial support that I've just gave myself. These 6 months are now a commitment to you, not the person that's telling you what to do, not the company, not everyone. This is 6 months where you focus on you.
Yeah.
Your financial gain, your mental break, the knowledge and the know-how of like 6 months' time, this is all me. Yeah. It gave me a lot of drive to push forward and to kind of open the doors for myself and go, okay, this guy's telling me what to do, but he's only going to do it for 6 months. And it's all me. So switch on, get what you've got to get done, and let's go. And that was kind of the mental switch. I was reading a lot of books. Like I said, at school, could never read. Right. I never read. And I got into reading books.
So reading books, so people understand. So You was doing these 4 jobs. Obviously, you started creating space, but then you was barely having much time to breathe because it was like one job to the next, to the next. Then you was actually reading books as well.
The moment I opened the doors to information,
right,
and the moment I opened the doors to how I could help people and what I could offer as a person, was the moment my mind shift changed.
Right.
Yeah. It was less about me. It was less about what's in my back pocket. It was less about the money. It was less about having 4 jobs and being scared to lose one. It was more about what I could do for others. My purpose. And that's when I started finding that. Through space. Through clarity,
Is that when you stopped worrying about your image and what people thought? So then it I guess really what shift happened up here for that to just then go, I don't care what other people think, I'm very much about...
There was a relationship thing as well, having relationships going all the way through the process as well. I kind of wanted to upkeep that image, that guy that I had a girlfriend and I was showing her that I was doing well. I was showing other people that I was out having a nice car and I could
status,
go on holiday.
Mate.
It was all a status thing. I fell into the society pressure of having the status. And this was all upcoming through Instagram and stuff, when you're seeing the nice cars and when you could go and it was like I was getting paid really good money per month, and I was like, okay, I can have a little bit for myself, and I was going, then I got attention from it. I was like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? But the moment I gave myself space, there's less I cared about all of that stuff, and I don't care about all of that stuff right now. I care about what I want everyone in my circle to win,
right,
and that's all I care about.
It's interesting. So obviously you've had that mindset where it has been about how much can I get, you know. My bank balance, my week, then it's showing it off. Yeah. So you got that bit of attention. People go, hey mate.
It's a good feeling. I can't lie. It's a good feeling.
It brushes the ego.
It does.
Stuff like that. Yeah. But when did you start to lose that feeling of, I'm pretty tired of trying to keep up with this image and to try and show people I'm this successful in terms of like what I'm putting out online, to then go, I just want to see people win.
Yeah, I was when I went to Bali and spent the first 3 months there.
Okay.
There was a very slow pace.
Environmental change.
Environmental change was massive. When I took away from everyone I was trying to please, I wasn't around them anymore. I was in other people's places, and they was very calm, relaxed, and I was lay on there reading books, taking information, and meeting new people that had amazing stories outside of my small town and cage I was living in. Yeah, I got out of that, and it's kind of like that's when everything changed for me. Yeah.
So taking that year out, being at Bali, I could see that was quite a pivotal moment in your life. Huge. Just to meet different people, not again feel judged. Listen, I had a similar experience when I did cruise ships. 9 months away from home. I always talk about that where. God, it was great for people not to go...
How crazy to take away an environment.
Yeah, for people not to say, remember me when you're famous as a footballer, and nobody knows I played football, so it's great, right? So it relaxes you, don't it? It calms you down. It's
so much... No pressure at all. You had no pressure to beat anybody. Yeah. Everyone came out of the place that they was paying a couple £100 for in a guest house, walked the beach and chat to people, and had something going off in their lives. But they had no face value. These people were very relaxed, very calm. They had no society pressure, and that's when everything started changing for me. And I was obviously getting all the information from people's stories and how they was, and it was like, I've got no financial ties. I'm kind of a free spirit, and I can do what I want. I can change my environment when I want. I was like, I've got a car I'm paying for, phone bills, and all these other things. I'm like, what if I get rid of these, and my image changes, and I don't have all of these financial ties anymore? I can actually free up a lot of financial freedom and mental freedom to concentrate and create something I want to create. I got rid of everything. Started from zero.
Right.
And my brain was like, wow. Like, it was so clear. Yeah. And it was like days. It was like, once I got rid of everything, I can't even describe to you the mental feeling of the freedom it gave me. Yeah. Like, it was pivotal, life-changing.
It's like deleting those 32 tabs that are open on people's computers. You know what I mean? It's like they've got loads of tabs open. It's like, just clean it out.
So getting that SD card and just rewriting it. Yeah. It was, mate, honestly, I can remember it clear as day, getting out my villa, and I was sat on the front step of when I say villa, it's cheap in Bali. It's not, you're paying a couple £100, it's nice. I sat on the step with my coffee, took a deep breath, boom, everything went. Wow. Everything. And you talk about finding yourself in the mountains and this this stuff, but no, it was pivotal, and it was people, environmental change, taking myself away, and a lot of learning and opening doors or opening your mind to other people's stories.
I think just touching on that, there's a strong word that you've used a lot there, which is story. right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, not plugging in what we're doing here, but it's great hearing your story as we go through this episode of what you've been through. And this is where I want people that are listening in, and obviously yourself, this is the whole purpose behind this.
Yeah,
you know, it's hearing stories of people that have resonated, related, been through something similar. Like, obviously you have said, well, what helped me was exposing myself to a different environment, which again, let's be honest, a lot of people maybe don't even move out within a 3-mile radius of the town.
Yeah,
right?
I know
Get
people
out
that's
of your
lived
town,
there 50, 60 years, and not moved.
It's stuff like that. And then you're talking about meeting new people, hearing stories. Like, you could be sat, like you say, you're just walking down to the beach and you're sat next to a stranger, and it's not like I'm glued to my phone. It's like, hey, we're looking at the sea and let's just chat about whatever. And then
time flowed. You didn't have this Instagram open.
Man,
it's in your pocket all day.
So so Bali was that pivotal change for you.
Yeah.
So what brought you back to the UK?
When I had that much time and that much focus, that much kind of freedom to think, gave me a lot of opportunity to build up a drive, to build up a roadmap, to build a pattern, to be who I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And I needed to come back for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you thought
again another environmental change to hustle.
Right. And then for you then, when you landed your feet back in UK, what did you do then? What was the first step?
Well, see the family.
It
was a big step, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But to chat to people about what I wanted to do and what I wanted to offer.
And what was that? What was that at the time?
And that was going back into coaching, but from a videography standpoint. This is where EliteGen Media was built. Most recently over the past 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, it was actually a conversation with Sam in Ultraflex.
Wow. Yeah. So EliteGen Media then, that name was, when was that created?
About 18 months ago.
Right. Yeah. So, because obviously, I mean, I follow you and stuff like that, and I've not seen that name flaunted about or anything. So so you come back, you was videoing yourself. So was you doing a bit of like the in-person online coaching, but then the videography?
Yeah. So I basically, I've always into cameras and stuff. When I was in Bali, I was vlogging it, I was making YouTube videos. I had some great camera setup. I sold it all and upgraded.
Right.
And I put about 10 grand in. Upgraded everything.
Yeah, cameras aren't cheap, are they?
No, not cheap at all. And again, this all or nothing mindset. I wanted to learn it inside out. And I was my own guinea pig. The camera was on me for a little bit. I was making the videos and people getting interested. I was like this, right? I built a little portfolio of myself. And then I turned around and me and Sam had a conversation like, this is what I can do for you. Can I come and shoot you? Can I come shoot some gym content? Did it. And the moment I posted that, life changed again. But the EliteGen Media, the name, the business was not out for 6 or 7 months. No one knew about it for that long. It was just me behind the scenes, learning the camera, learning DaVinci Resolve and editing softwares, learning sound design, learning color grading, what people wanted out of the business, what their struggles was media marketing. 7 months of just me focusing on as much information as possible. 7 months, I had it. I knew who I wanted to pitch to. I knew who I could help. I had all the background, the knowledge and the information. Let me go give it a go. And got the case study. Sam was the first one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it really?
Sam was the first video.
Oh, no way. Yeah. So obviously
we had a mics on and chatting in the gym and doing little bits.
I think I remember seeing bits like So obviously you come back from Bali, so you did go back into gyms, and just so people can understand the path. Yeah. You was obviously getting a wage. Yeah. Right? So you went back into a bit of employment, but in the back of your mind you knew you didn't want to be in it long. So again, I'm talking about just a little bit of a temporary thing. Yeah. Bit of wage coming in, but you knew what you really wanted to create, which was this videography style fitness. Well, not even just fitness line, but that was your startup for it. Yeah. So from your 6 or 7 months churning this out and offering freebies and putting yourself out there to these people, what was the biggest problem that your audience wanted solving then that allowed you to create EliteGen?
Is showcasing their story in the correct way that offered them financial gain. And how it's kind of like soft selling and sales funnels and stuff. These are things that people don't know or understand. And when you talk about marketing and media, there's kind of 7 or 8 core pillars in marketing, and people didn't know how to pitch themselves. They would sit in front of a camera and tell them their name and stuff and etc. How to tell the story that vibed with people, that got the connection to bring them ultimately financial gain. It's like, how can I get more eyes on your business? And that was what everybody wanted. More eyes.
So yeah, definitely. I like that, and I think showcasing the story. Ultimately, there's got to be an end game. Or there's got to be
Yeah,
tangible
yeah,
outcome
yeah.
where, again, it's a financial...
No one's going to pay me if they don't get anything back.
100%.
So
Yeah.
what am I giving them back? Well, I'm giving you assets that are worth a lot, that you can reuse.
Yeah.
The videos, the stories, they're a lifeline. There's something you can draw back on. Social media and social media marketing is the biggest it's ever been.
Oh, yeah.
We need to utilize it.
So okay, let's touch on this thing, because obviously I'm in a bit of a marketing space. I mean, even like this podcast, it's
marketing.
podcast.
Yeah.
So
community marketing.
There's a lot of noise, right, in the media space. There's a lot of noise with, your instant gratification, scams, your false promises.
Yeah.
Just, and again, you can't give away your formula, or, you would have to have a conversation. I understand with someone, but how would you cut through the noise in today's society when it comes to like marketing?
Cutting through it's not necessarily cutting through the noise in terms of like keeping up with trends and stuff like that, but what people are saying to you in terms of how they warrant their business, how they do it. Each story is so individual that it can't be replicated by anybody else.
Your story?
Your story is your story. So if somebody else has maybe done something the same as you, but they've got a deeper meaning, a deeper background, a deeper audience, a different audience. So really focus and create, I would like to create a kind of a mood map of kind of who you are, branch out to what you can offer, and you'll find the people that you're bringing in are almost kind of the same as you, and you'll really kind of get that avatar kind of in place. So to break down is put pen to paper, speak, and take your time with it.
I think it's really good what you're sharing, because it's coming back to you becoming who you wanted to become. So it's about identity. You found out that, do you know what, when I wasn't me, I was dipping in and out. I had a bit of that, there was a bit of me in there, but it wasn't really my true self.
No.
But where you said there about cutting through the noise, or at least finding your strategy, it's as though you first said, and I love the bit you just said, is not going on to how the trends are currently. Because that is the issue. That is the big problem.
We're trying to jump on it.
So if they see someone...
Just get a completely wrong brand image.
We talk about reels, right? I mean, like... Guys listening, I could go off on a tangent. We're going to keep it on you, but just where people like throwing themselves in front of the camera and looking an absolute idiot to capture people's eyes, which it does, but is it truly them? You're
just creating the wrong brand image. So take a step back. Who are you? What you can offer, all right? And you'll attract those people. So you as starting your personal training journey is who you are. You wanted to build muscle. Guess what? You're going to attract people that want to build muscle. I'm someone that wants to learn how to operate and use a camera and showcase a story in the correct way to offer somebody else to learn how to use a camera to operate and control the audience in the same way. You start creating these different patterns of people that you want to bring in. So me jumping on a trend or the hot tour or something like that to get somebody in using a viral hook would just set me up to failure, because my brand image is completely wrong. That's not my brand image. So don't jump on trends. Don't really kind of self-evaluate, check in.
That's
who
massive.
you are.
Yeah. This is great.
Where's your financial situation at? Where's your mental situation at? Where's your family situation at? Where's your friend situation at? Where's your love life at? Go through all of these self-evaluation pillars. Your little life wheel. Sit down and scale on 1 to 10. Check in with yourself the next week. Oh, I've moved up a point there. Come on. Do them blindly. Go 1 week win, week 2, start comparing. So what changes did you make as a person to warrant that extra mark? And you'll slowly start finding that the noise doesn't matter. It's who you are, what you want to create, and those are the people you attract.
And this is good. This is really good stuff, because it's about the human, right? Connection. Obviously, you're building a community as well. You're wanting to help those people that maybe have never touched a camera. So with that then, for you now being so more true to yourself, you're doing what you enjoy. You're not like, you're being yourself pretty much. You're aligned. You're passionate about what you do. What's changed for you? Like, if you was to now reflect on when you was your old self, and I mean, look, we can compare. What's changed? What's been the biggest thing that you go, that's been so good?
The freedom, the flexibility, the ability to be able to creatively speak my mind. When I was locked in that cage and I had the creative thoughts, I couldn't get them out. Now I can. Now I can showcase them. Now people know who I am. People can see who I am. When I talk about cameras and get fired up like these podcasts, I'm smiling. I'm like, my hands are moving. I'm sat on the edge of the chair. Like, I start getting fired up. Whereas I'm in that office space, you can't do that. So the freedom and the flexibility of choosing what your days look like, but ultimately just the mindset, the shift, When I'm driving and I'm stuck in traffic, I can't control the traffic. I'm not angry about it.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas before, like, I've got to get there 9 a.m. like for 10 minutes to go. Move. I was like that all the time. I was very manic. I'm very mellow. I can deal with situations a lot better. I've matured into business. So I'm not scared to ask for money anymore, whereas I was scared to ask for money. I've matured into that aspect. People respect that a lot more. When I went from asking for £10 to a PT to asking thousands for a retainer client, it's so much easier to control and operate a larger business than it is a small one. Yeah. So much easier.
Yeah. Well, definitely, because you've got the quality, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got the quality, you know who you are. Yeah. But it's took me nearly 12 years to go through that process to find this, to find who I am, to mature mentally, to adapt into business, to learn everything that I've had and gone off, to give myself 3 years of living abroad.
That's 12. Again, people have got to really understand this, because even if they are someone that is like what you've dipped a bit in and out of the employment, gone in self-employment. Yeah. You've been around the block for 12 years, and you're now 27 years old, and you've got this exciting new business that's fast growing, and obviously you're collaborating with people and stuff like that. What would you say now for you is your intention with life? And let's go personal first, then we'll go professional, because I want to keep it on you as well.
I want to carry on being able to have the freedom, the flexibility, and the mental aspect of things. I want to slow down. I want to give myself clarity. I don't want to be rushed. The personal aspect of things is be able to have a partner and bring a family up, knowing that I can provide and I can have the freedom. I can drop things and go play with my son or daughter. I can drop things and go on a date night. Have that flexibility to set my life up in that way. Wherever a random Monday is a walk on the beach, or a random Monday is a meal with your partner. I want that. I don't want a random Monday being dread of going into an office or a workspace. I want to set that up. So that on a personal aspect, is just having that kind of freedom, that feeling, just be who I want to be and live life how I want to live it.
Yeah. And you can see it's got a lot of meaning to it and stuff like that. And obviously, I mean, even if I was to ask you what does freedom look like to you, you've kind of shared it in that aspect where you can drop things.
4 jobs in a cage to being where we are now, you say.
You've been on 2 sides of the coin.
Yeah.
So you've flipped it, you've transitioned it. And so for you now then, talking about professional side, what's your intention with that?
I want to build the media agency bigger. Right. So I want an operation and a system where people go, I want to create this ad. I've got this vision of my business. We've not even got projection or anything, but you're the business that's going to help us. And I want people to then come in and have videographers, sound design groups, lighting groups. I want a full agency where I can take a team on set to film, and I want to operate that and give my creative input, but I want other people to open up their creative side. I want to offer jobs to other people. I want a freelance bank bigger than my arms where I'm giving work to every single one of them. I want to offer them all of my knowledge of the past 12 years and going forward, maybe the next 30 years, everything that I learned is to pass down and give the information away. I want to change the system of like schooling, of like you go through school, it's regimented, and you get a job and do this. I want to tell people that it's possible. You can teach, you can learn these things. Finances, creativity, like don't feel trapped, like talk and warrant it and really get out of it, So building the business up to bigger and bigger heights, multiple people. We're looking at getting a space soon. Fantastic. Where I can have people come in, I can have people work from. We've got a good freelance bank now where we're going to slowly start feeding work out and testing a few people. I've tested SEO and Google ads and website designers and builders now. We've got graphic designers on board. Sam jumped on board as a business partner from the creation side of things. Nice. Just to keep building that. And then that ultimately is going to give me my freedom to choose what the days look like. But it's graft time at now. It's heads in the trenches. It's go.
Yeah, I think there's got to be that clear, I guess, understanding that,
it's not blasé. It's not laid back and the business builds itself.
It's a bit of hustle.
I'm in the trenches.
Definitely.
We're building. This is the time. I've had 3 years to reflect. I've had a year in Bali where I've closed the laptop for 8 months and thought about this. That 8 months has gave me this 5-year drive to get there. To get this goal. So it's we're in the trenches. We're going. It's just full blown. It's scaling like I've never scaled a business before. All this 12 years of knowledge is packed into one business, and it's going.
Brilliant. And you can really tell as well. And I think obviously you don't have to share like literally everything. But what you shared there, in just terms of it being a community, it being a team as well, and actually bringing people with you.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I like the fact that you're not just doing it as...
No.
I mean...
From personal experience, I've always done better when people are on board. I've always done
Yes.
better through collaborations. I've always done better with
brilliant.
an
That's
aspect
really
of
good.
community.
Yeah.
And that's when I touched on earlier, is like getting your family on board, getting people on board, get as many people on board as possible.
Biggest
And
change.
you don't have to pay them.
No.
It's just get them on, give them their idea, sell them the idea, sell them the fact that this could help many people, and in turn they will help you. So yeah, community is kind of a really big one.
I like that. I like the fact that, you know, you're giving back to people on... Again, it's interesting how like, what you're talking about, and when I hear and interview other business owners, is that you're giving people something that, you know, you needed the most back at that point in your life. And what you're kind of doing is you're fast tracking them in a way.
Yeah.
It's like you're giving them a fast pass.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, listen, if you want to go from X to Y...
Get on that oblivion as quick as possible.
Don't be doing 12 years what I've done and be trapped in 4 jobs and be burnt out and second guessing and being this so-called flashy person that isn't really
no one
me.
cares about it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I think you're now living through that. You're building a network. You know, we hear this: your network's your net worth. You're scaling well. You're building a flexible freedom lifestyle. So, would you, if you was to look back on your life, you're now 27 years old. If you go all the way back to your 15-year-old self, or your what would you be saying to that 15-year-old self right now?
Wow, yeah, God, I'll be proud, very proud.
Yeah.
To be able to stick through it and not listen to the noise.
Right.
To be able to prove people wrong, and even family members prove them wrong. They've always been supportive in the way of words, but never in the way of actions. And now to be supported in actions as well as words, having share the post, having this is Callum, this is what he's doing. I sponsored a charity event recently of a boat race. I was in a boat race, and my business name and everything was out there.
So good.
It was on live radio and etc. I was getting shared out, and that's because family and other businesses put me forward for it and gave me the opportunity to do that. And I'm now would be extremely proud that I've actioned everything that I said I'm going to do. And I've said it from day one of other people, and sat with friends who I've had arguments with and said, watch me. Like, everything I say, I do. And I've backed that 100% for the past 12 years. Everything I've said I'm going to do, I've done. I wanted to move to Bali, I've moved. I wanted to set a business up, I've set a business up. I wanted to be self-employed from 15, I've done that. I wanted to be my own person for 12 years, I've done that. I've not been scared to go back into a job to get a few extra quid to move forward.
That's big, what you just said there. Yeah.
I've left that behind, you know. I've not been scared of that. I've not been scared to sell a BMW to buy a little van. You know, I've not. I just thank myself for giving myself that freedom, for opening myself up to other people's wealth of knowledge that's grown me. It's quite emotional, actually. Yeah, it's a good space, very good space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what a journey, you know.
It's been crazy.
Yeah. But like I say, I think you're still young.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a lot to give.
I feel like I'm talking like a 40-year-old. The life pattern I've had in 12 years has been crazy. I think I've started so early.
Well, you have.
15 years old. Most people don't start a business till 30, 40 even plus. Like, look at Jeff Bezos and stuff. They were well older,
Well, they talk about entrepreneurs, talk about millionaires, where they kind of fit in that. But obviously for you, it's again, a good little bit of insight for people to know that you can start young. You don't have to do these...
You don't have to get everything right.
Yeah.
Have
Try,
fun.
fail, have fun with it, be creative. Yeah, definitely.
I've heard that, like, we haven't even touched on other businesses that I've had, like sports massage therapy, getting into that.
Oh, God, yeah.
Being in lockdown on Cambridge College, learning how to be a sports therapist and setting that up as a side hustle for my PT because I was going... that one wasn't going as good as I wanted it to. So I started that to kind of bring the financial gain up and offer more. But it always came back to offering more. Like on a PT, now I can offer this. It helps somebody in a better way, or they might want massage instead of PT, etc. It was never kind of like a financial gain for me. It's always offer. What is the offer?
Value
and the offer isn't money. The offer isn't monetizing. The offer is I can fix your life. I can change your life.
It's the human first. It's like the human first, the business or the growth in terms of like what they're going to see and feel is the byproducts. It's about working with them,
absolutely,
and then guiding them to what it is.
Absolutely.
That they want to become. But I think that's really, really good. And I think what you've shared like in this episode is, I mean, how does it make you feel when you share that though?
think speaking it out loud, you try and compromise, don't you? I guess I'm trying to like tell it in a way.
Yeah.
And your brain works in a funny way, don't you? I'm like looking over the distance, bringing these memories back into my head, and everything that we speak about, I'm kind of thinking of something else to say, something else. And it's, it's kind of, you're so present, you're so in the moment. But when you actually look back and the 12 years to get to this point, it's been amazing. It's been a slog. It's been a grind. It's been emotional. It's been roller coasters. But I'd say the last 3 years have been a really highlight. And it's been nice to speak about it, actually. To dive back, I've not dived back for a while, actually. Like, why am I doing this? Who am I? Where have I got to? Yeah, so it's been the first time I've dug back in a long time. So, yeah, appreciate it.
No, listen, it's great. It's just good to... And again, this is why I like this being the first in person, because it is a question I ask when recording seems to stop. You know, they'll ask questions like, how was it? I'm like, oh, it was great. How did you feel? It's like, oh, my God, it was so great. Like,
Should I get recorded? Yeah,
literally. And it's that... I think it's just for you to drop that guard and just it be free flow. You open up about your life. And again, because you're in a bit of a space, we're not... I mean, we have got a bit of a time thing, but we're not like, got to get it done in a minute or whatever. It's just a space where you can recall on those pivotal moments, those moments in your life that shaped you. And
obviously, certain questions and certain things will probably bring out different answers as well, wouldn't they, in this kind of like 12 years of diving in deeper and whatever else. But, what we spoke about today is kind of been real key for me, real pivotal, real the journey, Yeah. I'd love to do this again in 12 years and dig back 24. Can you imagine? That's the exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. That'd be crazy, mate. Yeah, but you'll have a full-blown agency. You'll probably have multiple locations.
Yeah,
you'll have a
nice
roster.
yacht in the south of France, mate.
You'll be living it, mate.
We've done another loop where I've gone back to what my life looks like and who I am.
We're going through that. But listen, Cal. I mean, look, mate. We are getting towards the end of the episode, and look, this is a question that it means something to me, but I love to hear the meaning of what it means to the guest. Yeah. And that question is, what does mastering your life mean to you?
Wow. Mastering my life means creating something I can be proud of. And not only that I can be proud of, it's to pass down generations for those to be proud of. I want a legacy. I want someone to talk about me, or my dad did this, my partner did this. And I want to give those guys as well the opportunity to do the same. Mastering all those aspects of my life would mean a lot, and that's what it looks like. It's what it's going to be. I'm manifesting this.
I like it. It's great. Honestly, I absolutely love hearing that. The fact that you wanted to create that legacy. You're obviously very giving. You want it to be passed down, but I like the fact that it's not just all about you. It is obviously.
You have the pillars. I want the finances. I want to be stable. I want the relationship. I want the kids, and I kind of want the life pillars, as you'd call them, but also I want legacy. I want to help people. I want the creative agency is built off many of people and not just me. And I am the face of the business right now, but 5 years time, I won't be. It'll be a business. It'll be a company. Yeah.
I get you. No, I like it. I like the way. So, just as a last note, really, where can people find you online?
Yeah, EliteGen Media. Follow me across all social media platforms. EliteGen Media will get you there. That would be kind of the best place to go. Instagram, if you want to have a look at the portfolio and see some cool stuff over there. And maybe if you want to learn how to operate a camera and have some few tricks, that would be the place to go. EliteGen Media across all the platforms will land you on the right page.
We'll be on the right page. We'll ensure in the show notes
that
everything will be on there for that.
It's been really nice.
Yeah. But,
like I say, on the other chair as well, it's been really good.
I feel like I'm talking about it. Yeah, all right, yeah. So, look, final thing from me, Carl. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast. I appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much. No, it's been crazy. I've enjoyed it. Thank you so much for having me.
Brilliant.
Appreciate it.